Welcome back to Liquidity and Liquor. What are we talking about?
We're talking about another skill, how to actually promote kind of marketing tactic. This one, I actually got to give all the credit to Eric Su. So we sat down, I think it was in New York or somewhere, and we're talking about promotion, kind of supply and demand, where you have more content creators versus content seekers. And apparently the best platform for that is LinkedIn. So if you look at Instagram, you have 100% of the users are content seekers, but 67% will create content. So you have to compete with hundreds of millions of content creators, and YouTube, same, and all that. LinkedIn, only 2% of the people create content. So when we're talking about supply and demand, you look at the new trend that people are discussing, the algorithm is trying to find, there's a lot of requests for that content, and they're looking for someone who provide the content. So technically, the idea is that if there is a trend, you want to jump on a trend sooner than anybody else, because there aren't too many people creating content related to that trend. So you're going to get the buzz. But you go to a platform like LinkedIn, there is never competition. It's just 2% of the people creating content over there. But believe it or not, it's big enough to move the volume.
The organic reach.
Yeah, it's very organic reach. So that was the point where we spoke to Eric. So it was like, that's only 2% of the
I'll tell you something about LinkedIn. So I did very well on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. So LinkedIn is actually, that was like the first social media. I had Instagram for forever. Then I killed an old account because it was just like a personal account. Then I started up again. But I started up on LinkedIn because I was talking about business content all the time. And the algorithms changed a lot. I mean, when I first started on LinkedIn, it was long form text posts, and then it went to carousels that were really important for capturing organic reach, because there was like a factor called dwell time, and basically LinkedIn factored in how long somebody stayed on your post as to the organic reach it gave. And now there's more of a focus on images because they stop people from scrolling. So LinkedIn's algorithms changed a lot. But if you can ride the wave of LinkedIn algorithm organic reach, it's actually better than any platform that I've ever seen. So I built my first podcast was actually built off my LinkedIn audience.
Interesting.
So I always looked for the most, and the thing is, no other platform gives you organic reach outside of maybe TikTok and now YouTube Shorts. Mm-hmm. But for somebody who wants to communicate a lot of, for some people, boring content like business content, Instagram's tough, TikTok's tough, YouTube's very tough for that stuff. Mm-hmm. But LinkedIn, this is where you shine.
Yeah, that's where you shine.
This is where you shine.
Search, yeah.
So look for those. And I think that what you do, this is sort of my strategy for understanding how to do well on social platforms. I look for the person who's doing it the best on that platform, and then I just copy their strategy.
100%.
That's it.
100%. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Like, you go in and you look at the elements of what they're doing, and you learn from other people. And you can do it once you're a marketer, because you can see, right? You have a different view for things, and you can say, okay, I see that.
My two favorite, if people are listening right now on LinkedIn, would be Justin Welsh and Hala Taha. They are killing it on LinkedIn, and every single one of their posts is
we
viral.
met one of them, no?
Yeah, Hala. Yeah,
yes.
So I know Hala well. Justin is. I've seen him build his business. He was a software VP, and he built basically a solopreneur course business, almost exclusively off LinkedIn, and now it's running at over $1 million run rate just selling courses, and his employee is himself, and that's it.
Amazing.
Yeah, no overhead, no cost, just him on his computer working 4 hours a day.
The things, how things change. Back then, when we were talking about Google AdSense on the previous podcast, we were talking about people, and we're completely deviating over here, but it's an interesting story. So remember when I mentioned how Schumann took a picture, how he made... So there was a guy that was posting a picture of, I think, of $900,000 that he made in 1 month for his website. It calls Plenty of Fish. I think his name was Marcus. So my previous CTO and a good friend of mine, Chris Covino, was in the dating industry, and they were all friends. So he told me that. And what happened was he went and he showed how much money he made on his free dating site that was filled with Google AdSense. And at the time, he was supposedly working from his garage with his girlfriend, so he had no overheads. It was all him. He had his software over there, he was running it. It was today, you can't really do that, but here it is. You just hear about another person making $1 million from selling a digital course online for people off of LinkedIn, which you wouldn't expect that.
I just learned about a woman yesterday who got an app developed in India for a problem that she was having. I think she built an anxiety app, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the whole story. I just skimmed through it. But she built an app with a developer in India. She built it for herself. And then she started talking about it online. She built a landing page. She put it in the app store. I think she runs at $1 million a year now too, just herself. No, $10 million a year. I think it's 10 million. I'm going to find this woman.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Is,
so you can go and create something. Talking about actually passionate here, sometimes it works if you're passionate over something. Sometimes it can work, but don't think it always works.
It doesn't always work, but the point is, if you build a solution for a problem that you have, more often than not, there's going to be another person that has that problem. Yeah, so it's Ania, what's her name? Ania W. What's her actual full name? Ania Wisoka. She's the founder of Rooted. Sorry, it's doing $2 million a year. I was ambitious saying 10.
So it's not worth our time. Talk to me when it's 10. Why are we wasting our time? Listen.
She has no employees. It's herself and a developer from India.
Business. Yeah, it's a lifestyle business.
Yeah, and she just built it for herself. And you can go Google her name. Google Ania Wisoka. And the title of the article I was reading is Bootstrapping to 2 million plus users with 0 employees. All right. Okay, that's it for today. If you enjoyed, please subscribe on YouTube. If you enjoyed this podcast, you can download and listen to it wherever you get your podcasts or on liquidityandliquor.com.